It's a chilly Saturday afternoon in St. Charles, Missouri, the home of the Lindenwood Lions as they prepare for one of their biggest games of the season to date. It's the number 15 Lions men's lacrosse team against the number 10 Indianapolis Greyhounds. My name is Dominic Kosher, calling today's action live on the GLVC Sports Network. Starters are getting ready to be announced here on the near side, and what a contest it's going to be. Lindenwood looking to improve their record on this season to 4-1. On the other side, Indy, they've been perfect in their two games. They're 2-0 and have been dominant in those games. So as the starters get announced, we can go over some of them ourselves right here on the GLVC Sports Network. First with Indy, we mentioned they're 2-0. Their head coach is Greg Stocks. He's in his sixth year. Assistants are Austin Grimes and Adam Dobis. Their starters look like this. Up in the attack, the junior from Brighton, Michigan, Drew Billig. Jordan McKenzie, a 5'10" graduate student, back in the defense. You'll be hearing this name a lot. Midfielder from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, Kansai Gary. And then also Wyatt Ollier, an attacker in his first year with Indy, who's been lighting it up. The freshman, you'll be hearing his name too. Matt Schoenick, a junior midfielder, along with Brian Robb in the midfield, with Josh Jackson behind them, the 6'3" junior from British Columbia. Andrew Semenich, and then Duncan Weir round out their starting lineup. In goal, Austin Barnett, a 5'8" junior from Huntington, Maryland, who's had a phenomenal season and a really good stretch in recent weeks too. So those were the Greyhound starters. Over on the Lions side, they're 3-1, coming off a win in their last game against Lewis on March 6th. They'll be looking to carry that momentum here today against a top 10 Greyhounds team. Their head coach is Jim Lang in his 8th season, assistant Jeremy Frosch as well. Lions first have Leonard Jones, a 5'10" redshirt senior attacker from St. Louis, Missouri. In the back, Alex Eubank, a 6'1" senior from Frisco, Texas. Brian Kahlberg, also back in defense, the 5'9" sophomore from Minnesota. Carter Collins, one of the top goal scorers so far in the GLVC this season. He's the 5'9" senior midfielder from Prior Lake, Minnesota. Johnny Major, the 5'10" sophomore from Ohio. Peter Covington up in the attack, one of the leaders in terms of goals this season for Lindenwood individually. 5'11" junior attacker from St. Louis, Missouri. Chase Showalter, Jordan Knowles, and then Preston Borchardt, the 5'8" sophomore midfielder from Watertown, Wisconsin. Starting in goal, his first start of the season, Connor Simowitz, the 5'10" senior goalkeeper from San Diego, California. Leonard Jones was the first one out for Lindenwood. He's coming off his best game of the season to date, a 5-goal, 2-assist performance against Lewis as the Lions look to rally around him and others in their toughest contest of the season so far. It's a day where one of these two teams proves themselves among not just the elites in the conference, but among the elites in the entire nation. Indy, you could say they did that in their last game. They were the number 11 team in the country before they faced number 13 Rockhurst last week. Were able to get a 13-8 victory there, and that boosted them up to the top 10 ranking and at number 10 themselves. So a win today for Lindenwood gives them a victory against a top 10 team, and they still have the assault of that defeat against Maryville from just a few weeks ago. Their players suffered an 8-7 loss on the road in that game. That's still lingering in their minds. They can put that one away with a win against an excellent Indianapolis team. The starters have been announced. Both teams are getting ready. We're going to have the national anthem here in a few, so we're going to take a break and bring you this matchup between two of the top 15 teams in the country right here on the GLVC Sports Network. The national anthem has concluded. It's time for one of the games of the season in the GLVC. It's Dominic Kosher on the GLVC Sports Network. Lindenwood is out of their huddle. They're going to be wearing their all whites with black lettering and their stunning golden helmets. On the other side, Indy wearing their typical red and gray. It's red tops and bottoms with gray lettering as well as some white on the front. Lindenwood's 3-1. They're third in the GLVC behind this Indianapolis team and the Maryville Saints, who defeated the Lions in a game just a couple weeks ago, 8-7. Like we mentioned, a chance to put that one in the rear view mirror. Lions are in the center, as are the Greyhounds. It's time for the GLVC matchup of the week. Number 15, Lindenwood. Number 10, Indianapolis. Off the draw, Lions are able to win their first possession of the game as they move it over to the near side for Borchardt. Now he gives it off to Rob Tucker. Tucker takes it to the far side. Both teams have plenty of momentum going into this game, coming off victories. Indianapolis on a 2-game winning streak to open their 2021 campaign. On the near side, it's Corker. Nolan Corker with the defender on his back, holds it on his left side, spins it around, looks to the near side, finds his man in Tucker. Rob Tucker, the midfielder, goes off to Carter Collins, his first touch of the day. He lines up a shot, and he finds the back of the net on his first effort of the game. It took Carter Collins less than a minute to get on the board, and the Lions lead by 1 early on. Goal number 16 of the season for Carter Collins. And it took Lindenwood just one possession to find the back of the net against a top 10 team in the nation. To be exact, 43 seconds went off the clock before Collins was able to find the back of the net. Off the draw that time, Lindenwood's going to have another possession. Here is Collins wearing the number 21 jersey on the near side. He passes it back behind the goal. What a game for Collins. And their last one, 4 goals in the win on March 6th as he was dominant for Lindenwood. So is the man with the ball on the far side. It was Jones who gave it off to Collins. Now to the near side for Glazier. Grant Glazier, 6'1" junior attacker, coming from Cottage Grove, Minnesota. He passed it off now on the near side. Cam Smith. Now between the hash marks, he makes a little bit of a run. Smith, the defender next to him, so he passes it off to Jones. The speed and explosiveness of Jones going to be a problem all game for Indy. They're yet to have a possession in this game as Jones lines up a shot, takes a bounce, and goes out of play. All Lindenwood here in the first 2 minutes. They have a 1-0 lead. Now here's Collins. And there was a bit of a whack, and the Lions are going to have an opportunity here with a man up. But right now they have the possession. Flag stays down near the 18-yard line. Jones. Jones sprints towards goal, lines up a shot, and that one goes wide. So the official makes the ruling and goes over to pick up the penalty flag that lays down on that 18. And what a chance now for the Lions coming over to take his sit, at least for the moment. Jack Sullivan for Indy. Can Lindenwood take advantage with a man up? Jones. Now to the near side. Lindenwood fires, and that one, lots of power behind it, but the direction not there for Corker, the senior from St. Louis, Missouri. Lindenwood holds on to the possession. Still plenty of time left on the shot clock. They have 70 seconds just about. Now it's to the top of the side with Tucker. Rob Tucker moves it now to Corker. Good ball movement, and that shot takes a deflection. And he tries to pick it up. Looks like they have one man there. That's Jordan McKenzie. Whistle blown. It'll be the Greyhounds' first possession of the game, coming with 12:25 left to go in the first quarter. It's just been dominant display so far by Lindenwood, as now the Greyhounds try to take some time off the clock as they look to get their man back in the game, Jack Sullivan. So the goal for Collins, we mentioned his 16th of the season, continues to be not just dominant for Lindenwood, but among the top players in the conference and in the nation, too. His 16 goals are the most in the GLVC. Indy with the ball now behind the goal, making a move towards goal is Billig. He draws the attention of two defenders and now has it back with one man on him. Billig moves it to the middle, looks far side, good pass by him. LA try to open up some room around the 30-yard line. With it now, Wyatt Ollier, and that one goes out of play. Lindenwood's going to get the ball back, and the Lions bench excited about that one. Every game matters to each team, but this one maybe just a little bit more when you're facing a Greyhounds team that were picked to win the GLVC. They're the favorites and the number 10 team in the country. Just gives even more incentive to each team they go against, and today that team are the number 15 Lindenwood Lions. It's Collins here on the near side. The leader in terms of goals per game, Wyatt Ollier, in this contest. So the two top goal scorers on the year, at least on average, per contest, playing right here from Hunter Stadium. Lindenwood has it behind the goal. Leonard Jones over to Collins. Collins looked to make a move, but a couple players stay in his way. Now Collins with a low shot, and it goes well wide. It'll still be Lions ball. Here's Jones, the second leading goal scorer on the line so far, the only player besides Collins to be in double figures. He has 10 to his name. Also tied for the team lead in assists with 7. Near side, lose it. His footing was Corker, got right back up. Left side, what a pass to find Jones, and Jones was denied. Austin Barnett, one of his best save of the game early on. Lindenwood had their second best chance to score, and that time Barnett, the phenomenal goalkeeper for Indianapolis, was there to make the stop. What a season he's had so far. He's starting in his third game. Now give him around 20 to 21 saves on the year, and coming off a great week in their last game against Rockhurst, made 14 saves in the win, allowing 8 goals against the number 13 Rockhurst Hawks. Flag down, Lions now going to be penalized, with the possession belongs with the Greyhounds for at least a moment. Simonich passed it off to the far side. Screen set as they got the switch on the far end, and it's Borchardt in defense for Lindenwood. A bit of a shove to the back. They make the move towards goal. That shot denied by Simowitz. His first save of the game with 9 minutes and 13 seconds left to go here in the first, and what a save it was. Simowitz making his first start of the season. Blake Nolan had played and started in all 4 games prior, but now it's Simowitz's opportunity to make an impact in goal for this Lindenwood team. So the officials make the call. Going over to the side is Andrew Haas for Lindenwood. So now it's Indianapolis with a man up. They're going to say it was interference. He'll be off for 30 seconds. Indy moves it quickly down the far side. Lots of options to attack. Moves to the near end. Lines up the shot. That one goes wide. On the effort was Billig. Still remains with Indy behind the Lindenwood goal. Under 9 minutes left to go in the first quarter. They look for the equalizer, and they find it. What a laser of a shot from the 25-yard line, as it looked to be Kansai Gary who was able to get the goal. And just like that, we're tied up at 1 apiece. Gary with goal number 4 of the season for him. and he brings his team level coming off a 1-goal outing against Rockhurst on March 7th. Had 4 assists in that game. By that time went from the one that set it up to being the one to finish it off for Indy. On the draw in the middle for Lindenwood was Michael Miosic, the 5'10" junior from Texas. He was able to win the line to possession. It's held around midfield by Tucker. Tucker has Jones all the way down the far side, and that's where he went. Collins here on the near side, his very first possession of the game, he was able to score on to get his 16th goal of the season, a conference high. Tucker inside. They move it well to Corker. He has a defender on his back, but Corker's able to pick it right back up. He's got Collins behind him, Jones behind the goal. Goes to Collins instead. Collins draws the attention of Nate Weber. Weber tries to stay with him, a difficult task, and that shot finds the bottom right corner. He's done it again. Carter Collins with his second goal of the game, Lindenwood second, and they take a 1-goal lead. What a start for Collins. He doesn't approve of a tight scoreline. Again, it took less than a minute for him and the Lions to find a way past Barnett and now give him 17 goals on the year. Special player doing special things on a big occasion for Lindenwood. That time off the draw, it's won by Indy. Caleb Parker was able to gather their possession for the visitors. So under 8 minutes left to go, Lindenwood has a 2-1 lead, all thanks to the 2 goals by their leading goal scorer and one of the top midfielders in the country in Carter Collins. Mike Doyle, far side, good ball movement. Can Indy find an answer? Still with plenty of time left to go in the first. They move it across the 30, where it was held by Jake Zickel. He sets the pick as they make a move between the hash marks to Collier. 35 seconds left to go on the shot clock. They lost the handle, but it was knocked away, and that time it was Trevor Lockwood, the 6'2" sophomore defender for Lindenwood from Flintwood, Michigan, able to win the Lions a possession. He'll come over to the bench and jump in the air and get some well-deserved recognition after making the big stop on that possession. Now Lindenwood looks to take their first 2-goal lead of the game. They have it behind the goal. Now move it to the lethal Collins. To Glazier. Just the start Lindenwood was asking for, finding 2 goals past one of the top goalkeepers they'll run into all season in Barnett. Has already given them a lot of momentum in the early going. Mainly due to this man right here, Collins, but he turns it over and lots of space ahead for Indy. It's Sam Arfston with the ball now. He spins between the hash marks at the 30 and now slows things down. So both offenses get stumbled on their last possessions. Indy able to take it the other way. They have it on the far side, and they allow some changes to be made. Sprinting into the middle was Shunik, but they couldn't find him that time around. Back to Gary. Shunik again. Now with less than 6 minutes left to go here in the first. Lindenwood with a 2-1 lead. Trying to change that now are the Greyhounds. They move it on the near side. Back to the top. 2 defenders in the way. Gary still holds on. Now towards goal they go again. 22 seconds left on the shot clock. Pass to the top, and they find the back of the net to tie it up at 2-2. Drew Billig was found with plenty of space right in front of Simowitz's goal, and he made no mistake right in front of the goal. And with 5 minutes and 24 seconds left to go here in the first quarter, score is 2-2. What a start for these two teams. Lindenwood able to take 2 different leads, but Indy not letting them get too far with those advantages. Right at level now twice. Lots of pushing and shoving, but holding on to it was major. And the Lions will have it now on the very far side. With it on that far end was Jordan Knowles, a 5'11" junior from Maryland. Jones. All the way back to Tucker. Corker's on this near side, and he'll get it for Lindenwood. Nolan Corker with a big shove. He wasn't fazed by it. Good ball to Jones. Jones fires it. He was denied by Barnett. Lions have a second opportunity as the shot clock goes all the way back up to the top. Far side, Tucker. Rob Tucker spins. He was closed down well. That was good defending that time by Duncan Weir. Jones. He makes a good move towards goal. What a pass, what a find, and what a goal for Lindenwood. They're back on top again, just like that. Peter Covington with his first of the day, and the Lions lead 3-2. On Lindenwood's 10th shot of the ball game here in the first quarter. They're able to get their third goal of the game. Peter Covington on the board, set up by Jones, who gets his 8th assist. Covington gets his 6th goal this season. Again, both teams continue to answer almost immediately after the other one scores. Lions win it off the draw far side. Good physical play that time by Coulter Strauss. Now here's the one who got the assist on that last goal, Jones. He took the attention of nearly the entire Indy defense on that last possession, freeing up Covington in front of goal, and he made no mistake with the perfect finish. Glazier switches it to his right side. Good find on the near end. It's held by Cam Smith. Cam Smith at 5'7", trying to use his speed and elusiveness to get past his defender and Arfston. They move towards goal and they score again. It's Peter Covington for the second time today, and the second time in a matter of a minute to double the Lions' lead at 4-2. Great movement that time by Cam Smith to set it up, and again the Lions had acres of room in the dangerous area and are able to score again. Give Covington now goal number 7 of the season, just like that. Scored with 4:17 left to go in the first. Now scored with 3:25 left to go, so 2 goals in under a minute for him. And the Lions are able to win it right back off the draw. They'll look to expand their lead even more. It's Jones. And now the man of the moment, Covington. Covington now has sole possession of third on the Lions leaderboard in terms of goals this season. He'll look to continue adding on to that total as this game carries on. Good couple moves on the near side by Tucker. He holds on to it. Right on his back is McKenzie. To Collins. Now on that very far end, Corker. Nolan Corker back to Jones. Eyes set in the middle. What can Jones create this time around? He spins it to his right. Defender on his back. He goes down around that 15-yard line. No call as now the Lions apply the pressure. They get the turnover, and Collins had a nearly empty net, but a lot of defenders were in the way. It went out, and it'll be possession now for Indy. What a chance that was for Collins. A bit of a scramble in front of Barnett, and it led to the ball finding probably the last player Indy wants to see with it in a situation like that. Collins was able to poke it away. Were they able to keep it in? Right now there's no whistle to stop it, and that's what Kansas Gary was able to do. Good play by him right in front of the Lindenwood bench. Now they try to make it a 1-goal game, and that's what they do. What a shot by Ollier. His 6th goal of the season, coming off a 5-goal game against number 13 Rockhurst. And just like that, it's a 1-goal deficit for Indy as they immediately bounced back after giving up the goal on the other end. What action so far between two of the top 15 teams in the nation and college across at the Division II level. Both teams have been on fire on the offensive end. 3 goals for Indy, 4 for Lindenwood. As both teams go back in the middle, 1:53 remaining now in the first quarter. Lions still have the 1-goal lead. They've been strong right here on the faceoff. Lindenwood's won 6 of 7. But that time, Indy fighting for it. Coming back on that very far end is Matthew Jung, who moves it back. Kind of a risky pass, but Simowitz is able to make the grab before it could have been a disaster for Lindenwood. So now 90 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Lindenwood out shooting Indy 12-5. Turns the shots on goal 6-4. Simowitz has made 1 save, allowed 3 goals. On the other side, Barnett has made 2 really phenomenal saves, but he's also allowed 4 goals. He currently has it. A goalkeeper from San Diego, California, making his first start of the season. And replacement of their usual goalkeeper so far this year in Blake Nolan. Smith to Jones. In front of Jones was Josh Jackson. So he moved it back to Smith, who has an assist already in the ballgame. Option started free up in the middle. On the near side is Jacob Rusk if they want to move the ball to him. Carter Collins stays at the 30. We'll see if they try to move the ball to him, and that's what they do. Collins now drives on the far hash mark. Spins, right side effort, and it's in again. A first quarter hat trick for Carter Collins, and the Lions lead 5-3. What a shot by Collins as he's on the board again. Cannot ask for a better start if you're wearing number 21 for Lindenwood today. He scored the first 2 of the ball game, and now he scores Lindenwood's 5th to give them the 2-goal lead once again. .25 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Lions are going to have the ball again going the other way. They're going to have to hurry if they want to extend their lead to a 3-goal one. Collins with his hat trick, he passes it off. Tucker to Corker. He makes a move on the right side. He has a shooting lane and just barely missed that bottom left corner. Had a lot of power behind the shot, just not the right accuracy. 4 seconds left to go. Jones has it. Lions looking towards goal. Jones' acrobatic shot goes wide, and that's the end of an excellent first quarter for Lindenwood. They have a 5-3 lead. Carter Collins with the first quarter hat trick to put his team up by 2 in this battle between the number 15 Lions and the number 10 Greyhounds. So we're going to take a break with the Lions up by a score of 5-3. Be back in a few right here on the GLVC Sports Network.
We see the smiles. We see the greetings. But now they're more than 6 feet away. Now they are buildings away, cities away, states away. This is the new normal. This is the new way to communicate. Is it the preferred way? Of course not. A family works best interacting in person. We have to understand that no matter the borders that surround us, that surround our thoughts, that in this world of talking within a box, we must continue to think outside the box to talk about real issues, real change as a GLVC family.
What a start here from Hunter Stadium. Lindenwood leads 5-3. Carter Collins with 3 goals to his name. Peter Covington with 2 for him to give the Lions that 2-goal advantage against the number 10 Indianapolis Greyhounds. This is Dominic Kosher on the GLVC Sports Network calling today's exciting action between the Greyhounds and the Lions. Can Lindenwood carry the momentum from the first quarter here into the second? In the middle on the Greyhound side of things is Jack Bello-Brodit. He's in the center for Indy. They came into the game 2-0 with a win against Rockhurst in their last outing on March 7th. That was their first game since a win against Lewis on February 6th. So about a month between those two games. But they were able to defeat Lewis too by a score of 15-11. So Lions now have it as the team switched sides. Connor Simonowitz got the starting goal. He's made 1 save, allowed 3 goals between the pipes for Lindenwood. He'll launch from his own side as Lindenwood again, they've been dominant off the draw so far today. Another possession to start a quarter. Last time it took them 43 seconds to find the back of the net with Collins. That shot goes right towards goal from Covington, and it was easily stopped by the GLVC Defensive Player of the Week in Austin Barnett. He goes forward, and lots of running room on that far side. Lindenwood's able to adjust and put pressure on Arfston, who now gives it off to Brian Robb. Ollier. The Schuneck. He holds it on his right side, defender right there, so he passes it off behind the goal. Lindenwood absorbing the pressure for the moment here in the first 2 minutes of the second quarter. Making a move now is Billig. He's already scored once today. Billig, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 shots, one of them being on goal, the one that found a way past Simowitz. That pass out of the reach of the attacker, and Indy turns it over. They couldn't get the ball to Simonich, and gives the Lions some energy on their side, and they'll take it over going the other way. They lead in terms of shots 16-5 and have doubled their lead in terms of shots on goal 8-4. Here on the near side is Cam Smith. So far on the game for Smith, 1 assist. Yet to take a shot in this game, but Lindenwood will take his playmaking ability that he's already showcased here today in game number 5 of the season for the 3-1 Lions. They sit third in the GLVC, but a win today against Indy only boosts them above the board as they currently sit behind Maryville 2, a team that beat them just a little bit ago, 8-7 on the road. Lions turned it over too, so bit of a loose start to the second quarter for both sides as now the Greyhounds have it. Barnett gets it back. He stands between the hash marks on his own side. As the Greyhounds have it, if you'd like to see any of the goals again or some of the highlight reel ones, including Carter Collins' third, you can go on Twitter, search the LU_Lions Twitter account, and you can watch them again. Our producer, Josh Robinson, doing great work in getting those out if you want to go see them once more. Here's Ollier. He lines up a shot, and it's a great save by Simowitz going down to the knees, and he was able to make the low stop. So it keeps the score 5-3 with under 12 minutes left to go here in the first half. Lindenwood with their 2-goal advantage. It's their largest lead of the game. Can they make it 3? On the very far side, it's moved up the field by Strauss. Now it's Jones here on the near side. Every time Lindenwood has the ball, always have to hold your breath with what they've been able to do already. Always potent on the offensive end. Now Jones. The pick was set by Haas as Jones now moves it in. Spins to his right. Does that so quickly. Good pass behind, and that shot right on goal. Barnett makes the easy stop as Corker was the one who put it on frame. Now can Indy find a response? That pass a little bit behind the intended target, and the Lions take it the other way. Cole Trullander, the redshirt senior, able to pull it to the opposite side. Now here's the star of the game so far. Collins with his 3 goals now give him 18 goals on the season, and still 3 quarters to play from Hunter Stadium today. The big players always rise when the lights are on and the pressure's on, and this game certainly fits the billing for that, and Collins has done so early on in this first half. Good move on the far side by Glazier. He tucks it under. Glazier continues his run and scores again. The Lions get their 6th goal of the season. Glazier's on the board, and with a 3-goal advantage with 10:15 left to go in the first half, Lindenwood continues to pounce on the offensive end. So Grant Glazier, now the first line, not named Covington or Collins, to find a way past Barnett. And he gets the scoring started here in the second quarter. They lead 6-3. Glazier playing in his 4th game of the year, came into the game with 1 goal. Now I'll give him 2 after that one. Just really good elusive play to go right under the defender, and was able to find Lindenwood's 6th today. They're looking for more. Immediately attack on the other side. Covington with Jones to his right. On the far side, Collins. What trio that is for Lindenwood to say they have on the offensive side. Here's Jones. He thought about firing it, pass it off, instead to Tucker. Now it's Jones again, back to Rod Tucker, who stands at the 30. He moves it to Corker in the middle, Covington, along with Andrew Haas. Collins to Corker. He gets it back on his left. As his sights in the middle, goes to the top for Tucker. To Jones. The pressure Lindenwood's applying so far, just keeping Indy with their backs back against the wall. Collins behind the goal. He moves it to the far side. Lindenwood has 22 seconds left to go. Here in the possession. Ball moved in front. It's stopped by Barnett. Maybe trying to find Collins in front of goal. He made the move to get in front of Barnett, but the goalkeeper from Huntington, Maryland, made no mistake for Indy that time around. So under 9 minutes now left to go here in the first half is Dominic Kosher on the GLVC Sports Network calling this contest between 2 of the top 15 teams in the nation. The number 15 Lindenwood Lions and the number 10 Indianapolis Greyhounds. Lions have the 6-3 lead. Collins with 3 goals, the most recent one coming from Grant Glazier. Here's Awyer. Holds it on his left, moves all the way back to around midfield. Now starting to make a run inside is Edwards. Ian Edwards gave it off, and now some tight defense by Alex Eubank to force the pass all the way back to the top. Sprinting in is Zickel. He moved it back. Edwards is shot, and he scores. What a way to make an entrance. Ian Edwards, the 5'10" junior from Wisconsin, he gets on the board and makes it a 6-4 game with about 8 minutes and 8 seconds left to go here in the second. The Lions had their largest lead of the game at 3 goals, but you can't keep a team like Indy down for too long as they find an answer on the opposite side. Edwards onto the field and able to put a dent in the Lions' lead. So Edwards came into the game with an assist but hadn't scored. That's his first goal of the year in his 3rd game and appearance of the season. Lots of excitement from him after that, being able to get onto the score sheet for the first time in 2021. Well, Lindenwood's already played 4 games before this. Like we mentioned, Indy's only played 2, and 2 much different spans. They talked about it February 6th and at March 7th, the time span. Now they're here playing again on March 13th, a week later after the win against number 13 Rockers. What a tough schedule for them, at least for the moment, as they move it quickly. Perfect passing to try to open up the Lindenwood defense and find a way to beat Simowitz. Here's the shot, takes a bounce and a hard shot to deal with, but Simowitz was able to watch that one go over. Another opportunity on the way. 32 seconds left to go in the possession for the visitors from Indiana. Taking a bit of a bounce, but moving outside is Simonich. He moves inside. Now passes it off. Here's Ollier. Ollier back to Gary. 14 seconds left to go on the shot clock. Here's Gary, and that shot well airmailed. The Indianapolis bench wanted a call, and they're not going to get one. One of their members of the coaching staff being told to go over to the sideline as he was well onto the field. 10 seconds still remaining on the shot clock as one of the members of Indy's coaching staff has a word with the official on the near side to try to argue his case. For now, it doesn't seem like there's going to be any foul call against Lindenwood, and that will remain the case. So the Greyhounds now have 6 seconds left to go. Simonich, he lost the handle of it. Lindenwood able to scoop it up, and now a bit of a collision. Simonowitz turned it over. Greyhounds got it back just like that with the shot clock all the way back at the top. So a good break for them as they trail by 2. 6 minutes and 28 seconds left to go. Look at that defense that time for Lindenwood by Strauss. He's been impressive so far, but Indy was able to regain it around the 50. And now they'll lose it. Lindenwood has it. Lots of space in front of them in the middle. It is Showalter if they want to go to him. They don't. Now it's behind the goal with Covington to Jones. Smith. Coming back on. Glazier, the most recent goal scorer in the game for Lindenwood. And they're only one to find the back of the net here in the second quarter as we have less than 6 minutes left to go in it. Here's Collins to Jones. Jones fires it up, and that one just goes over the bar. It was the 2 top goal scorers on the year. Collins to Jones trying to connect that time, but it didn't work out, at least on that occasion. Collins will start up the remainder of the possession. Off to Glazier, to Smith. Jones. Now Glazier between the hash marks. Faked the shot, gave it on to Smith, who fakes it again. Holds it on his left side. Defender right in front of him. That defense coming from Arfston. Bit of a pump fake as they move it all the way to the top. Lining up the shot is Glazier, and he scores on the right side of the net. What a rip. That time by Glazier, his second of the game. And the Lions lead by 3 once more. Five minutes and 21 seconds left to go in the first half, and Lindenwood continues to apply the pressure on the offensive end. Indy with a strong defense who have been solid all year. In their last game, like we talked about against the Rockers, allowed just 8 goals in the game. They've already allowed 7 with 5 minutes and 21 seconds left to go in the first half. Glazier now with the second and his third goal of the season. Carter Collins was able to pick up the assist. That's his third of the year. Here's Jung on the far side. Lindenwood again winning the draw. Jung kind of running out of running room. Good pass to find Jones. Jones went down to one knee, got right back up, and took a couple hits from defenders. Made no difference as Jones holds on to it. He doesn't have a goal to his name, but he does lead the team in shots so far today with 6. Also has 1 assist. 2 of those shots have been on goal. Corker to Tucker. He moves it over here to Jones. Now Collins, who's yet to score here in the second, had a good shot that time, but it was stopped by Barnett. Barnett's going to have to get back towards goal in a hurry as Lindenwood with Haas was able to pick it back up. Timeout called by Lindenwood, and they have a lot to cheer about at the moment. They lead the number 10 team in the country 7-4 with 4 minutes and 27 seconds left to go in the first half. Dominic Kosher right here on the GLVC Sports Network, as it's been mainly all Lindenwood. Indy's had some good moments, but right now the Lions have the lead, and with over 4 minutes left to go, we're going to take a break and bring you the rest of the first half as the Lions lead by 3 right here on the GLVC Sports Network.
Throughout my life, it's always been family, faith, and football. My father taught me how to play the game. My brother provided me the blueprint, and my mother showed me how faith can be one's greatest strength. So when I tore my ACL as a high school senior, I always believed that I would roar back stronger than ever. And now as team captain, my strength stems from my teammates' faith in me. I'm Cade Brister, and the GLVC is me.
Barnes Jewish and Washington University orthopedic specialists understand the science of hockey. As team physicians of the St. Louis Blues, we use the latest research and technology to keep our Blues skating strong. Every patient we see receives the same nationally recognized care as our Stanley Cup champions. So when injury takes you out of your game, turn to the team behind the team. Barnes Jewish and Washington University Orthopedics. Be treated like a pro.
Seven to 4 is the Lindenwood lead. They've scored 2 here in the second quarter. The Greyhounds have scored 1. 4 minutes and 23 seconds left to go in the first half. Lions have possession. 70 seconds left to go on the shot clock as Collins moves it over to the far side. Now it's Tucker between the hash marks. Now Jones looking for his first goal of the game and goal number 11 on the season. Right now, though, the Lions have the shot from Covington. He's 1 goal away from a hat trick. Collins already has 3 to his name. He holds it behind Barnett's goal. 4 minutes exactly left to go here in the second quarter as that's a rocket into the bottom left corner. Lindenwood on the board again. They lead 8 to 4 as they continue to apply the pressure on the offensive end. Rob Tucker gets his first of the day. And again, Lindenwood making no mistake with the ball in their possession. What a first half for Lindenwood, especially when you focus in on the offensive side. Rob Tucker came into the game 3rd on the team in terms of goals. Now I'll give him 7 on the year. He's now tied with Peter Covington for 3rd with 7. Lions went off the draw again. Lots of physical contact, and the Lions wanted a call as going down was Jack Boyle, but Lindenwood will move it the other way nonetheless. Can they continue expanding on their lead? 4 goals is the current margin. It's their largest margin so far today. And they're doing so against the number 10 Greyhounds, who came into the game undefeated through their first 2 games of the season. Pick set to free up Jones. Now it's moved back to Smith. Smith with lots of speed moves behind the goal. Smith to Covington. Covington gave it back to Smith. Now 3 minutes left to go. And then 30 seconds left on the shot clock. Moving into the far side now in the possession of Rusk. One player slips down. Glazier freed up Jones. Jones to Smith. Smith goes down. That shot took a deflection. Goes behind the goal. Whistle blown. It'll be a possession now for the visitors. What a pass by Barnett. All the way to the far side, but unable to bring it in was Arfston. And the Lions forced a turnover. That one's a killer if you're Indy after that pass by Barnett. Sprinting inside is Collins. Collins to Covington, and he had all sorts of room, but couldn't score that time. Would have been his 3rd of the ball game, but that shot went well wide. Lindenwood holds on to the possession. It'll be Jones after this stoppage of play. 2 minutes and 29 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Lions lead 8 to 4. Behind 3 goals by Collins, 2 from Glazier, and a couple more with Covington and others leading the way. So we're going to take another quick break and bring you the remainder of the first half right here on the GLVC Sports Network.
When your team hits the road, there's no reason you can't do the same. At Drury Hotels, a good night's sleep is just the beginning. Our friendly team members and generous free amenities, Wi-Fi, hot breakfast, 5:30 kickback featuring hot food and cold beverages will brighten your day and make your journey easier, win or lose. For reservations, call 1-800-DRURYINN or visit us on the web at druryhotels.com. Drury Hotels, travel happy.
Lions lead by 4. About 2.5 minutes left to go here in the first half. Dominic Osher on the GLVC Sports Network. Linwood looking for their 4th win in the season, and of course this one would be their best win yet against one of the top teams in the country. We mentioned how Indy's had the difficult schedule recently. They had to play Rockhurst in their last game, getting the win against that number 13 team in the Hawks. Now, today, they're facing number 15 Lindenwood, but the Lions have kind of a similar stretch. They're facing Indy today. Next week on March 20th, they go on the road to face that same Rockhurst team. But a win against Indy, a team that defeated the Hawks, will give them plenty of confidence soaring into that one. Here comes Jones, who finds a way past all the defenders and scores, going down to the ground. You see something like that nearly every time Jones takes the field. It doesn't matter what position he's in or how many defenders are near him. He's able to defeat them all that time and scores. Lindenwood's 9th of the game. They lead by 5 with 2 minutes and 11 seconds left to go in the first half. Been waiting to see Jones get his goal, and it didn't take too much longer after asking that question when it was going to come next, as that time going down to the turf was still able to get enough power on the shot to defeat Barnett. And well, you mentioned it, Barnett held Rockhurst just 8 goals last week, winning the Defensive Player of the Week honors in the GLVC. And now he's already allowed 9 in the first half against this Lindenwood attack. Jung's able to pick it up, moves it over to the far side. The Lions are going to have another possession. We'll see how much time they take off the clock with it, and they can get to double figures all from within the first half of play. Jones, the Lions leader in terms of points so far this season, now has 11 goals, along with a team-high 8 assists. Collins off to Jones. They move it to Rusk, and Rusk, lots of good dance moves on that near side to free himself some space against the defender. Now it's Jones. Jones again. He scored the most recent goal. Can he do it again? Yes, he can. Back-to-back goals for Jones, and Lindenwood continues to pour it on in the first half. They lead 10-4. Jones now 2 goals in and an assist on his 8th shot of the game. And back-to-back possessions where he's been able to score past Barnett. When Jones gets in a rhythm like this, and when Lindenwood gets into a rhythm like this, watch out. The top 10 team in the Greyhounds haven't been able to handle it so far, and the number of Lindenwood attacking options have already made their impact today. Covington with 2, Collins with 3, Jones with 2. And those are just to name a few. This time off the draw, Indy's able to win it. A much-needed possession coming for the Greyhounds this time around as they call their timeout, a much-needed one for them. They trail by 6, 1:03 left to go here in the first half. We'll keep it right here to go over some stats on the GLVC Sports Network. Barnett, the GLVC Defensive Player of the Week, 6 saves, but he's allowed 10 goals on Indy's side. They've had multiple different players score so far today. With their 4 goals, it's been 4 different goal scorers, Edwards, as well as Billig, Gary, and then Ollier. So a lot of the typical goal scorers, and then Edwards getting on the board for the first time. On Lindenwood's side, Simonwood's got the start. He's been solid so far with 2 saves. It has allowed 4 goals, but Lindenwood's done their part on both ends to kind of limit the exposure to shots he's had to face. They also have 1 hat-trick. Carter Collins with 3 goals to his name. He also has 2 assists. So Carter Collins scoring, creating, and all around a dangerous start. Also has 6 shots, 4 of them being on goal. Leonard Jones, 2 goals and an assist. The team high 8 shots. Grant Glazier with 2 goals for him. Then you have Peter Covington, who scored twice as well. Other goal scorer, Rob Tucker. Numbers so far in the first half, Lindenwood outshooting Indy 27-9. Also leading in terms of shots on goal, 16-6. Under 50 seconds now left to go here in the first half. Can Indy get an answer? It's been all Lindenwood for a majority of the second quarter. From the very top, it's held by Dwayne Braddock. The Lindenwood bench makes some noise as they have a lot to be happy about with the 6-goal lead. But Indy looking dangerous. They have 25 seconds left to go here in the half. Low shot saved by Simowitz. Ollier was the one who got the good effort, but it didn't matter as he was denied by Simowitz. Lions still have time for one more. 10 seconds left to go. Here comes Collins, whose shot is well over. It'll still be Lindenwood ball. Clock stops with 6.8 seconds left to go. Whistle blown. And a timeout called by Lindenwood as they look to set up the perfect final attack of the first half. Only have 6 seconds left to go in it, but that's still plenty of time for Lindenwood to possibly make it down on the scoreboard. So after the stoppage, it looks like they're right back out there, and some changes are made. Lions have Collins along with Jones, Andrew Haas in the middle, Peter Covington, Tucker, and Corker round out that group on the attacking half. And here we go. 5 seconds left. Pass out in front. Took a deflection. Covington's going to have to let it roll. But Lindenwood dominant in the first half in this clash between 2 of the top 15 teams in the country. They lead 10-4 at the end of the first half of play. Collins has 3 goals, Covington 2, Jones 2, and a couple others also putting their impact on the scoreboard, as well as in their biggest game of the season. Lindenwood has showed up so far with their 6-goal lead. So we're going to take a break. In 10 minutes, we'll bring you the second half right here from Hunter Stadium on the GLVC Sports Network.
Lions, what's up? It's a beautiful day here in St. Charles, and right now we're on campus in the Reynolds dorm about to give you a dorm tour in 2 minutes or less. First, to get things started, I thought it might be nice to add that decorating your dorm room doesn't have to be expensive. Lots of places like Bed Bath & Beyond have discounts for college students, including a checklist to help you remember what to bring and what not to forget. When you arrive at Lindenwood, you will notice that you are provided with a desk, a chair, and a bed. Bed risers are not something you must buy when you move here. Even on the highest level that you can change your bed to, you can still fit the dresser that Lindenwood provides you underneath. Being from out of state, I brought a lot of items to put on my wall to make me feel more at home. In the dorm, we're not allowed to put nails or screws into the walls, so believe it or not, these are all held up by command strips. Here in Reynolds, we are provided with our own laundry room, but if you're in a dorm that does not have its own, always remember that Evans has plenty of washers and dryers for students on campus. A personal refrigerator is something you will want to have. It's perfect for storing snacks, drinks, and anything of the sorts, just like frozen fruits and smoothies. Before we go, I thought I'd give a few helpful tips. Don't forget extension cords because you will definitely need those with the spaced out outlets on the wall. Space-saving hangers are a gift of a genius when you can't decide which clothes to bring from home, like me. When you're buying sheets, don't forget that your beds are twin XL, so make sure you get the right size so they fit. Also, if you wake up in the morning and can't get through your day without a cup of coffee, Don't be scared to bring a coffee maker. I don't drink coffee, so I brought a smoothie maker. But if you have time, don't forget to stop by the Starbucks located in the Lark. Alright, Lions, thanks for listening in. And don't forget, here at Lindenwood, real experience, real success.
I chose to come to Lindenwood because everybody I met was so inviting, and the professor I met with just made me feel like I was supposed to be here.
Coming in as a veteran, the VA coordinator here made this transition to being here at Lindenwood an easy and seamless one.
I got here, did the tour. It had everything I wanted. I enrolled immediately once I got back home.
Seeing the space and being like, this is what I want to do, this is where I want to perform, that just kind of sealed the deal for me.
One of my favorite things about being on campus is how everyone's together. I love that there's always an opportunity to do something new.
Living in a dormitory here on campus, like each floor is their own little neighborhood. There's so much community throughout those floors that one night you could be doing trivia, but the other night they could also have a yoga class scheduled.
I work in the residential life office, so I get to help students kind of figure out housing.
I work here on campus as a student employee with our Advancements and Communications office, and that gives me a lot of real-life experience while applying my schoolwork to that.
The way that Lindenwood gives me my real experience is a lot of the professors are people who have recently been or are still in the industry.
We have people that have designed for Broadway. We have people that have stage managed big equity shows, and they kind of give us that insider knowledge on what we need to do to be successful in the industry.
All my professors are great. When I have an issue or if I have difficulty with an idea, a lot of times I can go to them and they will give me another angle to approach it and make it better.
All of my classes are really catered towards making sure I'm going to fit in wherever I go. The challenging parts about those classes, they're getting me ready for nursing school afterwards, and I just feel like I'm so prepared.
I feel like I've gotten really good at being self-sufficient, so the idea of living on my own after graduation isn't that scary now.
The experience that I really want to gain from being here at Lindenwood is real-world situations that I think even just in my first semester being here I've got. Sets me up for life after Lindenwood.
That's what I'm here for. That is the experience, and I can take all of these tools. I can take tools I've learned last week and take them into an audition now. I think that's amazing, and I really think that's, what we're here to do.
And there's so many stories that you get an internship, and as soon as you graduate, you're offered a job right off the bat to be able to get into the advertising world before I get out into the world. So I have a little backpack that has all the things I need to succeed out there.
I think that's been the thing that has been so amazing and so surprising about Lindenwood is that they just want me to give my all when I'm there, and that's all they ask for. And that's kind of helped me improve as a person, improve as an academic, and it's really cool to experience that.
I would say that the best part about St. Charles is it's a big city with a small city feel. So being at Lindenwood, I just really feel like I'm in more of a community, whereas in St. Louis, I didn't like the hustle and bustle of being downtown. St. Louis, it's only about 20 to 30 minute drive depending on traffic.
Being a student at Lindenwood University, we're about a 20 to 30 minute drive away from Forest Park, and what's convenient about that is there's running trails, there's a golf course, and there's a zoo that's free to the public as well. You'll spend less time trying to figure out what to do, and you can just go over there and pick and choose from the 500 acres of space there is.
So there is a hockey team, Major League Baseball, so there's a lot of fun stuff down there. There's always some event happening downtown, but also just in the general St. Charles area. There's food, shopping, all that good stuff. There's a mall just right down the street, but there's also Main Street that has family-owned boutiques and family-owned food places. So it's really nice to kind of be able to get the sense of small town, but also the sense of a suburban area.
Here there's group workouts, there's saunas, there's spas, there's a lot more stuff that you can really get out in the community and do. Sugar Bar is my favorite restaurant. I eat there probably twice a week, no joke. Mod Pizza is an all-time favorite. There's always new restaurants to try. You're never going to get burnt out.
I was born and raised in St. Charles, always was in the area, so it was really nice being able to come to school that's nearby home, being able to go home and see my puppy all the time. It's really nice to be able to do that, but also you get that sense of independence just because you aren't living at home.
Well, I was born in Honduras. Here in Lindenwood, there's a very wide variety of people from all over the world, so you end up meeting people from every single culture. So the people that you end up meeting here, they're gonna be your family. They're gonna be the ones you reach out whenever you're sick, whenever you're in trouble, whenever you're struggling with classes.
So I'm from Boise, Idaho, and the one thing that compares St. Louis area to Boise is the fact that it's so historic and it's very easy to get around and find things to do. It's a very comfortable place to be, and that's what I really enjoy about the campus life itself.
I just got an internship at Edward Jones, and they said that it was really nice that I had a Spanish major and I was going to be bilingual because they were looking to expand in some Spanish-speaking countries, and they were really looking for people that could bring that to them.
So I'm doing this Linden Teach program because it seemed like a really great way to get experience and still have a mentor there to guide me.
Now since I got into this major and I met my professors who, like, I usually take the same class with the same professors, and I really, really like it now. Like, I like coming to class. They're just very skilled in what they do. They know public health very well.
I've been able to tell jobs like, hey, I have the skills I need from both practical and analytical in order to figure out how to solve a problem, and then just my other experiences at Lindenwood had given me the tools to manage and lead teams. And putting these all together, it's helped me really develop a strong resume.
And a lot of times people kind of grow into principalship when they've taught for a while, but I came in knowing that that's what I really wanted to do. The process in terms of defending my dissertation, it really just made me feel unstoppable. I moved up from classroom teacher to assistant principal, from assistant principal to head principal. So
education is one of the greatest gifts someone can receive. So I'm really, really thankful. I love it here. I feel like I've made great friends. Lindenwood has given me so many opportunities, and I'm really, really blessed that I chose to come here.
Some advice I would have for somebody that's starting college is to definitely get involved. My freshman year, I got involved in cheerleading and I got involved in Greek life. I never thought I was going to be a collegiate athlete. My team won nationals this past school year, so now I'm a national champion, and I have no idea how this happened.
My freshman year, we got second at nationals, which was a pretty big deal, actually. The trophy is right there, the last one. So I was able to be a part of that team, and actually I did really good.
Be confident, try to be involved, because that's really going to help. It's going to be your experience, and it's.
And we're back here from Hunter Stadium. 10-4 is the Lindenwood lead as number 15 Lions are up by 6 against the number 10 Indianapolis Greyhounds. It's Dominic Osher on the GLVZ Sports Network on a chilly Saturday afternoon from St. Charles, Missouri. Lindenwood has been dominant so far. What a second quarter for them as they outscored Indy 5-1 in the second period to give them their big advantage. 30 minutes to go, however. The Greyhounds had the firepower to be able to get back in this game. So it's going to be a long second half ahead. But the Lions have to be confident with the way they've played so far. Cotter Collins has led the way. 3 goals for him. Leonard Jones also has 2 to his name. Other players with 2 include Peter Covington, Grant Glazier, and then Rob Tucker has 1. Indy has the first possession of the second half behind the Lindenwood goal. Connor Simowitz got the start. He's got 3 saves and 4 goals allowed. It's all around strong play from the man from San Diego, California. Right here, it's Drew Billick, one of the goal scorers in the first half for Indy. They only got on the board once in that second half, or in the second quarter. They'll try to bounce back here in the beginning of the third. Here's Billick with a Lindenwood defender right in front of him. That's Strauss. Loose pass, but it finds its way to the top. A rocket takes a deflection on the way through. Kahlberg got in the way of the shot for Lindenwood. Now let's move to the near side for Rob. Rob, and they were able to find their man in Schunik in the middle. He laced up the shot, but the ball just fell out of the net before he could pull off the effort. But here comes a lot of running room for Lindenwood. On the prowl they come again. Pump fake now to the near side. That was Showalter who was able to take it over here and give the Lions a strong possession. So good play from Shea Showalter. Now Collins. He gave it off to one of the more recent goal scorers in the game, and Tucker. To Haas. Now Jones. He's got 2. Scored back-to-back goals for Lindenwood. Can he get his third? He went down to the ground. Another effort for the Lions, and it's picked up in the end by Barnett. Again, Jones creating and giving this back line and Indy goalkeeper and Barnett lots to worry about every time he's on the move and with the ball in his hands. That time they couldn't score. 12:35 left to go in the third quarter. Lions with their 10-4 lead. A lot of those goals coming in the final couple of minutes of this second quarter. Gary to Billig as Billig looks to his left and goes that way to find Brian Robb. Rob's been relatively quiet so far. Came into the game the leading goal scorer on the season overall with 6 goals to his name for Indy. As that shot goes over, Billig was on the attack. Brian Robb has an assist, but you have to even take a shot for Indy. Now let's move to the near side by Simonich. Schunik holds it on his left. They try to get a shot prepared. Nothing there. 18 seconds left to go on the shot clock. Making a move towards goal and to be denied by Simowitz was Simonich. What a stop again. Save number 4 on the day for Simowitz. One of his better ones of the game as well. Now Collins to Jones from Covington that time. Grant Glazier. He has 2, as does Jones. Now here's Lindenwood's first quarter hat trick here on Collins. He goes all the way across. Good pass to find Rusk. Rusk to Collins. Lions have 35 seconds left on the possession. That pass a little bit loose, intercepted, and won by Indy. They move it up the field. That was Weber with the strong play to win Indy a possession and to quickly move it the opposite direction. Now it's Gary on the far side. He's got 1 goal on the day. To Billig, who slows things down. Indy has 30 minutes left to get back their 6-goal deficit, and that'll help right there. Wide open in front of goal that time was Brian Robb. So we were just talking about it. He's been held without even a shot in the first half. Comes off quickly here in the third quarter, and inside the first 5 minutes of it, he makes it a 5-goal deficit now for Indy to come back from. Robb now with a goal and assist on the game. 7 goals on the season, a team high. He makes that 10-5 scoreline. Greyhounds still trail. Just way too much room that time in front of Simowitz's goal. Not much Connor could do, as it'll be Lindenwood conceding the possession to Indianapolis, who have it now on the far side of the field. Lindenwood makes a substitution coming on, or back on for the Lions, is Cole Trulander. He currently stands in between the hash marks at the 25-yard line. And he has it. Mike Doyle passes it over to the far side. 10 minutes left to go in the third quarter. They pump fake a couple of times as they move it all the way around. Now here to Andrew Simonich, the junior. Billig. Good footing by Billig. He goes to Simonich. Now to the near side. Edwards. He's trapped by 4 different lines. Still somehow got the shot away. Took a deflection. Goes all the way out to the far corner. Still will remain with the Greyhounds. 30 seconds left to go in the possession as they move it all the way to the far side. In defense for the Lions is Strauss. They sprint inside. That pass took a deflection. They're able to regain it and pick it right back up with Zickel. 16 seconds left to go on the shot clock. And the Greyhounds generate something before the possession comes to an end. Now they have 8 seconds. They have to hurry. Ian Edwards, 3 seconds left. They're not going to get a shot away. As they try to pass it back, no one was there. The Lions forced the turnover with some of their best defense yet today. Moving it around the back, Lindenwood has been on the defensive side for most of this third quarter so far, but they continue to have their 10-5 lead. What a big first half it was for this Lindenwood offense against a team like the Greyhounds, who have been so strong defensively all year, or at least through the first 2 games, rather, and in their last game against Rockhurst, only giving up 8 goals total. They gave up 10 in the first half. Here's Corker. Corker with some speed, defender right behind him. His pass took a bit of a deflection, but it found its way to Haas. He moves it over to the far side. It's Tucker again. He spins it on his left. Good moves by him. Now Jones. Jones towards goal, and that one went wide. Might have been saved. Here's Collins. Fires it to the top. Tucker's shot, well wide, a little bit low to the left side of the goal. 19 seconds left to go on the shot clock in the Lindenwood possession. 8 minutes left here in the third quarter. They move it towards Collins, and Collins is back on the board for the first time since the first quarter. He gets his 4th goal on the day. Lindenwood's first of the second half, and they lead by 6 once more. Collins has just continued to torment this Indianapolis defense. In the first quarter, he was practically unstoppable. He also had 2 assists in the first half. And now, here in the third quarter, he's back on the score sheet with another beautiful goal. Under 8 minutes left to go now here in the third. Eleven to 5 is the Lindenwood lead, but Indy have had the better possession numbers in the second half, at least through the first 8 or so minutes. They move it all the way to Gillig here on the near side. He lost the handle. It was knocked away by Kahlberg, but he's able to pick it right back up. Good pass out in front. Now with it is Rob. Lots of traffic in the way, still finds a way to Billig. He moves it now. Took another deflection, and Lindenwood just all over that Indianapolis possession. They forced the giveaway now on the far side. Lots of speed by Trulander. He now moves it back. That pass comes out in front for Covington, and he just wasn't able to corral it. Jones attacked Barnett, who's well out of his goal, but in the end, Indy was able to take it away, but now losing it is Duncan Weir. Lindenwood's all over him, but now it's going to be a whistle and a possession for the visitors. Losing his stick that time and losing the ball was Weber. And here comes Lindenwood as they switch it all the way out to the left side, where it's now with Leonard Jones. Jones back to Tucker. Covington, and it's right between the hash marks, and then Collins is on the near side along the goal line as Cam Smith is back into the game along with Glazier. Here's Smith. Continues to show off his trickery. Got by one defender. Gave it off. Now here comes a shot from Covington. That one was denied. Still fighting for it is Collins, and he's the one who's able to come away with it. 5 minutes and 45 seconds left to go now in the third quarter. It's Lindenwood ball and Glazier with 2 goals. He moves it now to Tucker. That was a little bit behind him. Ball rolls all the way back to the 46. Tucker won the race, but the battle was won in the end by Jordan McKenzie of Indianapolis. Weber. That ball comes loose. Lindenwood will take it the other way, and the enthusiasm from their bench tells you all you need to know about how big this game is for this Lindenwood team. A team that came into the game 3-1, a 15-10 victory against Lewis last Saturday. Had suffered a defeat on February 24th against Maryville after starting the year 2-0 against Quincy and Davenport. So a chance to just continue to carry the momentum and forget about their loss against Maryville as they have a 6-goal lead against the number 10 Indianapolis Greyhounds. And that shot comes through and they score again. Lindenwood is back on the board. They lead 12-5 with 4.5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. An offensive outpour does not refuse to stop as they continue to put even more past Barnett's goal. So Collins' 5th goal of the game, now 20 on the season. And we are currently in game number 5 of the year. Ridiculous numbers from him as he comes over and gets some recognition from the Lindenwood bench. Just a phenomenal player that continues to dominate here today. Indy now trails by 7. They're going to start upping the pressure on the offensive end as they trail 12-5 with just about 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Semenich is attacked by Eubank. He's able to pick it right back out, however, moves it to the middle. A couple defenders in his way. They pick it right back up, and they're able to score. What an effort that time by Gary to get his 2nd goal of the game, and an immediate response by the Greyhounds. They trail by 6. So Carter Collins' 5th goal of the game leads to a high-paced offensive attack and approach on the other side as Indy's right back on the board as well. 12-6 now the Lions lead as Lindenwood will look to get off to a good start right here off the draw. In the middle is Major. He wasn't able to win it. Coming out with it looks to be McKenzie. So can Indy start to build some momentum? They've been trailing ever since the beginning of the game. They leveled it at 1-1 and then 2-all back in the first quarter, but Lindenwood scored right after those goals were put into the net. And it has put this team in a hole since the very beginning. Carter Collins, one of the major reasons why they are in that hole. Loose pass. Lions force the turnover. Here they come the other way. With about 3 minutes left to go, Collins has it. Looking for goal number 6 of the game for him. He gives it off to Covington. Covington back to Collins, and he'll just let everyone get onto the field. That includes Glazier and the man with the ball now, and Smith. Also joining them is Jake Rusk. Glazier to Jones. The pick set by Glazier to free up some room for Jones on that very far side. He's asking for some movement. That movement came from Collins. He moves it to his left. Carter Collins with a couple of nice moves to try to lose his defender. He gets it back from the 30. And now to the far side. Here comes Glazier. He's one away from a hat trick. To Jones, to Smith. Options out in front as Smith moves it back. He lost his footing. Far side, Glazier's shot was denied, but Lions still have the attack. It goes to Covington. Shot clock all the way back to the top as with 2:05 left to go in the third quarter. Plenty of time left on the possession for Lindenwood as they lead by 6. Here's Collins. to Covington. Covington had a pump fake before he ended up passing it off to Rusk. Now Jones. Leonard Jones. Two defenders near him. Doesn't matter. Give it off to Glazer, whose shot was well saved that time by Barnett. Hasn't been Barnett's best of days, giving up 12 goals against a tough opposition in Lindenwood, but that time was able to get the save, his 10th or 9th on the evening. So a minute 20 now left to go. About 20 seconds separating the shot clock and the remainder of the game clock here in the third quarter as Lindenwood's on the defensive side. Here comes Indy. That shot goes wide against a splitting Connor Simowitz. They're able to move the ball well to free up Rob, who has scored in this second half already, but he couldn't score again that time. Now under a minute left to go here in the third quarter. From the 25-yard line, it's held by Gary. Now the pass off and the shot off too, but it goes well to the right. Here comes Indy again. It's Rob. On the far side, looking to make a move. To the interior was Shunik. Couldn't find a room. 18 seconds left to go on the shot clock. And it's held by Ollier. And his pass couldn't find anyone. Collins fights for it on the other side, and he's able to pick it back up. 25 seconds left to go as the shot clock is off. Lindenwood will likely have the final possession here of the third quarter with a 12-6 lead, and they do even more damage on the offensive end. It's Tucker. Also has Haas, Corker, and Collins on the field. Jones, too. Tucker outside for Haas, whose shot scores! Andrew Haas, and what a way to end the third quarter with 5 seconds left to go. They lead 13-6. Haas on the board for the first time today. Andrew Haas, the man from Ontario, is able to score for Lindenwood. And it's his first here today, and he continues to have a strong all-around season. That's his 6th goal of the year. Came into the game tied for 4th on the team in terms of goals with Peter Covington. Covington's added 2 to his name, but now Haas has also been able to score. What a way to end the third. Lindenwood leads 13-6. Heading into the fourth and final quarter of play here from Hunter Stadium. What a win this could be for Lindenwood if they can hold on against the number 10 team in the nation in the Indianapolis Greyhounds. So we're going to take a quick break and be back with you for the start of the fourth in this battle between two of the top 15 teams in the nation right here on the GLVC Sports Network.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun. No one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub. With exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours. The home of Division II college sports.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Lions lead 13-6 heading into the final 15 minutes here from Hunter Stadium. Dominic Osher on the GLVC Sports Network. It's been an offensive on board for Lindenwood all game long. They lead by 7. Carter Collins started the day with 15 goals, now 20 on the season with a 5-goal outing here against the number 10 Indianapolis Greyhounds. As a flag comes out all the way back here at the 40, haven't seen one of those in quite a little bit of time. It's been a disciplined game for both teams, but now Indy has a chance to go a man up. They can't find the back of the net right here, right now. It's in the hands of Billig. Billig all the way now to Rob. Rob's looked dangerous in the second half, and he's looked dangerous again. Finds the bottom left corner to beat Simowitz, who's frustrated with himself as that one got by him. And inside the first 50 seconds of the fourth quarter, they're on the board with Brian Robb. So 13-7 is now the Lindenwood lead. 7 goals is their largest margin of lead so far today, and each time they've gotten a 7-goal lead, it's been an immediate answer on the other side by Indianapolis, as they now cut it back down to 6. So Rob, now with a team-high goals on the season, came in with a team-high 2 with 6, now has 8 after that one. Lions will have possession. Here's Jung. He drops it off now to Tucker. Lions have Tucker, Jones, as well as Covington, Corker, and their most recent goal scorer, Andrew Haas. He has it on the near side to Jones. Covington whips it over to Collins. And now Corker makes a couple of moves between the hash marks, now into the middle. Good pass, and a shot wide by Covington. We mentioned the 5 goals for Collins. Also has 2 assists, 10 shots on the game for Lindenwood's top offensive threat. Here's another top offensive weapon in Leonard Jones. Jones to Covington. That pass just a little bit off, and it's picked up by the visitors. So Lindenwood with a 13-7 lead. 13 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. Indianapolis were projected to finish as the top team in the GLVC this season. Lindenwood trying to make an adjustment to those projections. They have that advantage right now. Can they hold on? Pass to the far side. Frees up the shot to be denied by Simowitz. And no second chance effort that time for Indy. So now save number 5 of the game for Connor as he denies the attack of the Greyhounds. Lindenwood has it far side of the field with Trulander. He goes over to Glazier. Most goals the Greyhounds have given up in a game this season was 11, and their first game of the year against Lewis back on February 6th. And their second game, of course, we mentioned it multiple times, against Rockhurst, they allowed 8. What a performance that was against a really strong Rockhurst team that this Lindenwood Lions squad will face next week on March 20th on the road at Rockhurst out in Kansas. But the focus right now is on the present, and it's on this all-important game at home against the number 10 Greyhounds. Lions have done their job so far. They've been the better team from the get-go, outshooting Indy 39-20 on the game. Here's Jones out to Collins on that far corner. Collins moves it over here to the near end. Collins' shot, that one not going to score that time. Jones, he starts to make a move towards goal. Leonard Jones looking for his third, moves it to the far side. Flag comes out, doesn't matter. Cam Smith is on the board, and Lindenwood once again lead by 7 with 11 minutes and 21 seconds left to go in the fourth. What a performance for Lindenwood as they inch closer and closer to pulling this one off, and the confidence we talked about earlier that it's going to give head coach Jim Link in his 8th season and the rest of this Lions squad. It would be their win of the season up to this point. They've got off to a good start. We talked about their first home game of the season, first game overall, a 14-3 dominant victory against Quincy back in February. Went on the road to face Davenport, where they won there. Had that loss against Maryville, where they just kind of got shut down on the offensive end. Scored 7 goals in that game. Lost by 1. But now they turn the corner and are starting to look like one of the top teams, not just in the GLVC, but in and at the Division II level. Corker on the far side goes to Tucker between the hash marks. He has got 1 goal in the game. Corker behind the goal for Haas. Haas fires it to the top. Here comes the shot. No, it turns into a pass, and a good one at that. And now Covington has a hat trick of his own. He scores his 3rd, and the Lions lead by 8, their largest lead of the game, with about 10.5 minutes left to go in the 4th. They just do not let up, no matter how much time is left in the game and how large their lead is. Covington, what a performance it's been for him. He was strong in the first half, scoring 2 goals on 8 shots, but now give him his 3rd goal of the game. And on the season, Covington now has 8. It's going to be a fun film room session for this men's lacrosse team after a dominant performance like this. Still 10.5 minutes left to go. Andy never out of it until that final whistle goes off. Can they pull something special off now? It's going to take a lot as they trail by 8. Far side Young in defense. They move all the way back to the 40-yard line as the moves are made by Nick Rangard. And a loose pass and a turnover for Indy as Lindenwood is starting to feel it here from Hunter Stadium. There's a decent amount of fans in the far stands here at Hunter. It is a cold afternoon in St. Charles, Missouri, but it's still a solid showing here in St. Charles, Missouri. Under 10 minutes now left to go. Lions have Haas on the ball. Now it's Tucker. He's got Corker on the far side. Covington's in front of goal. Jones on the near end, as well as Collins on the far side. Tucker spins to his left. Has a defender right behind him. Lindenwood wanted a call. Nothing there. Haas to the far end again. Corker passed it off, set the pick to give Collins the possession on the near side. Now 20 goals on the year for him. By far the most in the conference. And that shot, again, accurate. Saved by Barnett. But when Collins gets into a position like that, you can almost always anticipate the goalkeeper having to do something in goal, as majority of his shots are on target. Here comes Indy on the other side. Just trying to get something before it gets too late. It might already be near at that point as they trail 15-7, 8.5 minutes left to go from Hunter Stadium. Pass to the near side. Ollier. He's been relatively quiet today. Has scored, but coming off a 5-goal game against Rockhurst, hasn't been as nearly involved in this one as that shot by Rob goes wide. Simonwitz likely had it covered nonetheless. Another stop by Simowitz. Jung tries to pick it up, but Connor is there to get it nonetheless. How about this performance by him? Under 8 minutes now left to go. Simowitz just allowing 7 goals today against one of the top offenses he'll face all season long. Just another one of the many positives for Jim Ling and company to take out of this game. But the Lions turned over, a bit of a collision around the 50. Collins is going to be called for it. He disagrees, but he'll have to come over to the Lindenwood side and take a seat for a bit. So Collins came into the game with 15 goals on the season. He's up there among the best in the entire NCAA in terms of goals on the year. He leads the GLVC, like we mentioned, by quite a big margin. But now, with 20 to his name coming into today, that'd be the 5th most in the nation. He's right behind Thomas Vason from Montevallo for 4th place in the country. In terms of goals per game, he was 9th before this big outing. He comes over and gets a little bit of time to rest. He's off for a minute for tripping. This is when Indy has to find a way to beat Simowitz. It has been a tough challenge all game long, all year. That shot took a deflection. Losing his stick was Trulander in the process to get rid of the ball out of the hands of one of the top threats on this Indy roster. But the Greyhounds still have it on the far side. 7 minutes left to go here in the 4th quarter. They move it across the middle, Gary. That pass intercepted. What a skillful play that time by Brian Kahlberg to read the pass to perfection, and now it'll be Lindenwood on the attacking half. It's Trulander. What a read by the sophomore defender from Minnesota to win the Lions a possession. 6.5 minutes left to go before Lindenwood can possibly earn their 4th win of the season and a win against a top 10 program in Indy. Smith stands at the 40. Now starts to make a move. Collins back into the game as they killed off his tripping infraction. Smith, well, that pass just a little bit too high, but it'll roll all the way back to Collins at the 35. Smith was looking for Rusk in front of goal. Collins, can he add even more to his score line? Not that time, because he'll get an assist instead. Peter Covington with his 4th goal of the day, and what a setup that time by Collins. Lindenwood now leads 16-7 with under 6 minutes left to go. They're going to be getting their 4th win of the season, and what a win it'll be in a complete and utterly dominant performance against a really strong Indianapolis side. So with 5:52 left to go, 9 goals now on the season for Covington after getting his 4th today. Collins came into the game one of the top assisters. He had 2, but after 3 assists today and 8 total points, now has 5 assists on the year, which is good enough to be among the top 2 on the team. They had 3 players tied for first. Leonard Jones, Tucker, and Corker all came into the game with a 7. Jones has added 2 to his total. Now he has 9. So Indy now with just about 5 minutes and 15 seconds left to go now in the 4th quarter. You'd have to think a comeback at this stage is a little bit too far out of reach, even for a team of Indianapolis' caliber. Aryer, well, he'll try to do his best to pull off the impossible as he finds the back of the net and beats Simowitz. So now it's an 8-goal Lions lead with just over 5 minutes left to go. That's Wyatt Ollier's 2nd of the game. He also has an assist. That was his 5th shot of the game, so it's been relatively efficient shooting for him on his limited opportunities. But the Lions still in a good position, to say the least, to seal this one off. They lose the draw that time. Bash comes out with it. Indy's on the attack on the far side. If they can't pull another one off here, they'd go to 2-1 on the season, a program that's been remarkable since becoming a thing back in 2016. That shot's off the bar. Would have beat Simowitz, too. But they couldn't score on that time. But since beginning to compete in 2016, it's been remarkable. Indy's never finished below 500 as they find the back of the net again that time. So just like that, it's now 16-9 with 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to go here in the fourth. A couple of good movements by Indianapolis to try to cut this Lions lead down, and still not completely over yet, even though it's still extremely unlikely. But more on this Indy team. In a full season, they haven't finished below 500. They went 2-3 in 2020 in just 5 games. They didn't have really a chance to bounce back from that margin. But right before that, in 2019, what a year it was for them. 16-3 overall. They won the GLVC tournament and lost in the NCAA semifinals against the number 1 team of the nation in Limestone. So a program that's built plenty of success since 2016, and they're looking strong again this year as they go towards goal, and they lost their footing. Officials blow their whistle and stop the play with just over 4 minutes remaining. It'll still be Indy ball, trying to make it a 6-goal game. They're starting to play with a lot more energy than we've seen all game long. It's behind the goal, being held by Zickel. He moves it. Can they move it out in front? Kind of a loose ball, but it's picked up in the end again by Jake Zickel, the 6-foot senior midfielder from Louisville, Kentucky. Near side all year. He's looking for a hat trick in his second straight game. And that one denied by Simowitz. The shot was put on target as Awyer's a little bit slow to get up. But Simowitz went low to make the stop, and we'll see how much time Lynn was able to take off the clock unless they can find the goal that give them 17 on the day. Most Lindenwood scored in a game so far this season have come today. Their 16 goals against the number 10 team in the nation are the most in a single game this year. They've had 2 games where they've scored 15 on February 13th against Davenport and then Lewis last weekend. Here's Jones to Haas. Haas with the sprint to the far side. Good pass to find Collins. Collins now top 5 in the nation in terms of goals on the season, barring the results of all the other players in the conversation. Good ball movement in front to set up Covington, but the pressure came in late by Indianapolis to knock it away. Good stop that time by Arfston. So Indy after this game would fall 2-1. They have Davenport on Wednesday back at home. They'll have a nice little home stand as they play Davenport on Wednesday, Quincy next Saturday before going back out on the road to play Lewis on March 27th. Bit of a collision that time. No foul. Lindenwood forces the turnover. Someone that's been able to produce plenty of offense tonight, as well as strong defense. Now Tucker was able to force that one away. Now just about 90 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter. Lindenwood proving a 4-1 on the year as they prepare for another tough challenge next weekend at number 13, Rockhurst. Lions able to get possession back. It's a 2-game road stand for them, as then the following week they got a rematch against Quincy, a team they defeated 14-3 back in their season opener on February 6th. They play on March 27th before coming back home on April 3rd to play against Davenport. Both teams look to be content to let this result hold the way it is. 53 seconds left to go, and just a remarkable performance today for Lindenwood that's going to leave them feeling good up until that matchup against Rockhurst. Jim Blank in his 8th season, this will go down as one of his more impressive wins against a team that ranks number 10 in the country. From start to finish, Lindenwood has been dominant. At the end of the first half, they led 10-4. Didn't look back, scored 6 goals here in the second half while allowing 5. Jones, one of the major reasons why Lindenwood is going to improve to 4-1 on the year. He had a 2-goal, 2-assist day, 10 shots for him, 4 of them being on goal. Carter Collins, the leading goal scorer on the game, and just another fantastic day for one of the best players in the country. 5 goals, 3 assists for Collins as the Lions let that buzzer go off. They go on to celebrate Connor Simonwitz in his first game of the season, or first start of the year. Made 8 saves, allowed 9 goals to get his first win on the young season. As the players sprint out, final score 16-9. So we said Collins had 5 goals. Peter Covington behind him with 4 goals. He also had Tucker and Haas getting on the board. Well, this day by Rob Tucker, 1 goal and 3 assists for him as he turned into an excellent playmaker for Lindenwood. Grant Glazier as well as Smith both able to score. Glazier had 2 goals for him. All around, dominant display in what's been the best win of the season so far for Lindenwood, and a statement win against the team that was picked as the GLVC favorites and ranked number 10 in the country. So that does it here from Hunter Stadium. Lindenwood improves to 4-1. They have another battle against a top 15 team in the nation next week against Rockhurst. As we'll have to wait and see how the rankings are affected by a result like this one, where Lindenwood defeated a team 5 places ahead of them. Collins' 5 goals led the way as Lindenwood earns victory number 4. For everyone behind the scenes, thank you to everyone working here on the GLVC Sports Network to make this game possible. To watch the Lions defeat Indianapolis 16-9. This is Dominic Kosher. Thank you for tuning in. We'll hope to catch you next time right here on the GLVC Sports Network.